Okay, Christina Smith, she should be here any moment. Oh, hey, how are you?
VIP
I wasn't sure what elevator. How are you? Welcome.
Thank
so
you.
You're here for the consultation with the doctor?
Yes, can't
excellent.
wait.
Okay, well, listen, come on over here.
Awesome.
Okay, thanks. Okay, I'm going to go get Dr. Raja right now. Okay, I'll be right there.
Thank you.
Yeah. Dr. Raja, Christina
Hello,
Smith.
Christina. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Listen,
Pleasure.
you guys go ahead. I'm going to leave you.
Sounds good.
Good luck. We'll see you
Thank you.
afterwards.
Thank you
okay?
so much.
Thank you, Dr. Raja.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Welcome, Patrick Kirkwood, CEO of the Biosport, and welcome to the Biosport podcast, where we explore human performance, longevity, and the science of unlocking the fullest athletic potential behind that. Today, we're joined by an incredible guest, Christina Smith, Canadian Olympian and bobsledder, whose career has been defined by resilience, discipline, and pushing the limits of performance. We're excited to dive into the journey, her Olympic experience, and the Biosport consultation that she just finished doing on how genetics can help shape and train recovery at the elite level. Now, Christina, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yeah, listen, and it's a little cold out there today in Calgary, here in Calgary. Yeah,
very much
You're
so.
dressed a little...
I'm still wearing my stuff.
Yeah, it's like you're back doing the bobsled again, right? Anyway, listen, let's jump right into it. Now, I've got a few questions I want to ask you. I guess, first of all, maybe tell us a little bit about your career and, how you got into the bobsled and, where and a little bit. How did it start? How did your journey start?
Yeah, well, I was actually identified for the ideal physique for a bobslayer. Now, back in the day, women were just kind of breaking through in the sport. We were trying to, the men had been doing it for 80 odd years, and there were some women around the world that wanted to, of course, get into the sport, and I was one of those pioneers, and it was a real interesting experience because not only did you, push your limits of, actual courage to actually do the sport, but you're also inspiring the next generation of women and women in general to do something that was very unique.
Oh, that must have been incredible. I've got to ask you, that first time that you actually did it, was that a little bit scary? It must have been.
Well, they didn't really prepare you for the experience, probably because they didn't want to scare you away. So I just remember, I don't know whether you want me to bring you through an experience, because it's very violent. And initially they just kind of say, okay, push the sled like you stole it, and like jump in with the driver, and if you want, even look over her shoulder. And I did that. Well, by corner 4, my head was embedded between my knees, and just being walloped within the contents of the sled, and literally had lost track of what corner I was on. I was supposed to count them.
I can imagine, yeah.
And then there's this extreme pressure that just folds you in two, and you can't breathe, for a few seconds, and it's really horrific. And
right?
By the time you get to the bottom, you have no idea again that you're actually at the bottom until you hear the scream coming out of your driver that's saying brake, So when you get to the bottom, you're frazzled, you're shooken up, and
wow.
And really the worst things that came out of her mouth was, let's do it again. So I had to really tell myself, why am I going to do this? Like, put my body through this experience. And it really came down to, being a pioneer, being a role model, trying to inspire, and at the same time, just doing something that pushed my limits as well.
That's amazing. Now, honestly, did you close your eyes?
Never.
Never?
No.
I guess you really wanted to see that. Yeah.
You want it, you're just, if anything, you're, as a brakeman, you're staring at the bottom of the sled, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
So if anything, you're just trying to get through the 1 minute experience, you know, and yeah, once it's over, I mean, it's the longest minute of your life.
I can
Sometimes
imagine
it's
it.
less than a minute or whatever. But
It's definitely not
Yeah.
something that I would consider doing, but it sounds like an amazing start, and it's a great way to describe it. I mean, it's anyway, it's not tobogganing on the hill anymore, that's for sure.
well, I have to tell you, though, is that the experience in the back of the sled,
Yeah.
I said to myself, you know, this has to end, and I needed to have the control in my own
The
hands.
driver, yeah.
So I had to become the driver.
I,
Because,
I completely understand that.
Yeah, so-
Yeah. Otherwise, you're just there for the ride, right? And
Well-
stopping at the end, I guess, really.
And I mean, you're definitely a team. Like, you have to push
Yeah.
this thing together. You have to be one with the sled. You can't be just all over the place. I mean, I didn't know any better at the time, but now it's more, you know, like there's that synergy. There's that
Yeah.
connection with your
It's like dancing on, down the hill.
Exactly,
Yeah, wow, it's
exactly.
amazing.
Yeah,
Well, so then from there, I mean, I guess you obviously had to practice, for a bit, and then let's jump forward and get into sort of the Olympic.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about that. What happened? What was the?
Whew, wow. Well, I was an Olympic hopeful, or I should say a medal hopeful.
Yes.
And of course, it's all about timing.
Yeah.
And I know that throughout my career, I had different brakemen that I had amazing, times with. But at the Olympics, actually a month prior to the
And
games.
where were they?
They're in Salt Lake City.
Okay,
Yes,
yeah.
Park City specifically.
I know
for
exactly
the
where
bobsleigh.
that is. I've been there. Yeah,
Yes,
it's
yeah.
beautiful, beautiful place.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I actually, a month prior to the Olympics, I actually got paired up with a brakeman, Paula McKenzie, she rose to the top at the time of the games, and we got paired
So
up.
just a question for
Yeah.
you. I mean, shouldn't they be calling it a brakewoman?
Did I say brakeman? Honestly.
Well, do they? I'm
they
asking.
can say a brake person,
Yeah.
or a brake woman, or a brakeman, but generally speaking, because it had been such a historic,
Yes.
for men,
Yeah.
that it always ended up being brakeman. But
Yeah.
honestly,
Yeah.
I was just happy that they let us in the Olympics.
And that was the first time. That was the first time ever.
That's right. And,
Wow, that's pioneering completely.
Yeah.
That must have been one.
And I tell you, when you went,
Yeah.
you're not just going for yourself, you're going for all the other women that may not be there with you.
Yeah.
Because you were representing that whole, wave of different countries and also having allies and support. It was not, how they say, you need a village
Yes.
to, raise a child.
Yeah.
And really, the child was having the Olympics accept us as a sport.
Well, and you're competing
and-
against the world too. It's not just like you're practicing anymore. This is really the big leagues.
Yeah.
And how many runs did you get to do in the Olympics?
Actually, leading up, we had 3 days worth of runs, which were only 2 runs a day, which essentially 2 minutes. So for myself, I had 6, and then on the Olympic day, we only have 2 runs to actually start and finish. That's it.
Yeah.
But now they actually extend it to 2 days, so they have actually 4 runs
Wow.
combined.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you make a mistake, then you can't necessarily catch up.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
So,
I just congratulations. I mean, I
thank you.
sincerely, that's
Thank you.
there's things you can accomplish in life, and that just really that's one of the greatest things I think I've heard. So good for you.
Oh,
Congratulations.
thank you.
Now, tell us a little bit about. I mean, we're here at Biosport. We're here at our headquarters, our corporate office, and you just met with the doctor, and we'll talk about that in a bit. But tell us about the Biosport journey, and I know we're about to officially launch, and you've been testing with us at the Biosport. Tell us about your journey thus far, and then we'll get into the when you arrived, and we'll talk about speaking with the doctor, and then what you had. But tell us about the journey. What happened? How did you get here? What's the deal?
Yeah, well, I mean, initially I was introduced to the company through a friend,
Yes.
through a social event.
Yeah.
And I just knew in my bones, I was like, they are doing something so unique, so special, that it just excited me, and I was like, I just want to know more. And the fact that being, having been the high performance athlete and thinking to myself, my goodness, like, this is not just about athletes, this is about everybody.
Yeah.
And the beauty of finding out on the cellular level, on the DNA level, what your, how you're built and what you've acquired from your mom and your dad. And it's one of those things that I feel so blessed to be living in this time.
Yes. We are I say this all the time, and it's the future is here now, right? And it's amazing what's happening, not just with what we're doing in the biosport, but there's a pharmacogenomics aspect where now we're able to take our program and enhance that. So now if you're taking a medication, we can tell you whether it's going to be it's going to work for you, or maybe it's toxic for your body or whatever. So science has come a long way since then. Now, tell us a little bit about, I met you at the elevator, and you went from there, and I, introduced you to Dr. Raja. Tell us what happened at that point, and, how was it? What do you say? No, I don't want you to tell us that. It's not that, but did you get something out of it, or?
Oh, absolutely, hands down. I mean, just having gone for a very simple little blood test.
Yeah.
That was like, is that it? Thing.
Yeah, that was pretty easy.
I mean, so professional as well, and so having that done, and then all of a sudden getting this, amazing report.
Yes.
That it's exciting.
Yes.
Because I never thought that I'd be able to know more about myself than I already did.
Yeah.
And to actually look back in my career and to see how intuitively I had done things in certain ways, just because I knew that, it takes me a long time to warm up, for example.
Yes.
And I always knew that, I just could not be that person that just showed up late and then performed without the feeling that I may injure myself.
Yes.
And so intuitively, I always was at least 45 minutes to an hour before the actual, say, high performance element of my training. And other people, they just didn't need what I needed.
Yes.
But I didn't even question. I didn't try to be like them. I did me.
Yeah.
And I.
Well, it's because it's personalized.
Absolutely.
You're different than anybody out there.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really big part of the program that you're just letting us know is it's personalized to your own DNA, your DNA, my DNA. Everybody's different, and that's what this is all about. So I'm really happy to hear that.
Yeah. And the nice thing about this is that it's, again, we're reflecting on my career, which is, wow, imagine if I was in my career or just prior to my career, of how much I could tailor what I was doing to actually that knowledge that I would be given by Dr. Raja, for example, and just that proactiveness. And that's where I get excited, because I think to myself, imagine if everybody did this.
Yeah.
We're talking not just high performance athletes, we're talking everybody.
Yeah.
Because everybody deserves quality of life. Everybody deserves to be their own high performance human, and live a high performance life, whether it's however they define their life.
Well,
so it's not an Olympian's high performance, but hey, if they want to be a high performance mom or dad or kid or whatever it is, so I just think that, yes, this is, something called biosport.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's not just about people in sport. It could be for every and anybody.
And so the program is expandable, into your health and what's going on in your health. And as a matter of fact, one of the terms that we've coined is being the CEO of your own health, right? And the biosport it gives you all these sport related, we look at over 15,000 variations patients in the sport gene pool, so we target that. When you do a whole genome sequence, which is what you started with, there's over 20,000. So there's a lot more that we can't give you too much information, otherwise, it's overload. But you're getting the sport aspect of this, and now we can go back once you've started the program, because once you do your whole genome sequence, that's it. You don't have to do it again, right? And so you can learn more and more about what's going on. So I guess there's a lot more that you're going to, discover as you read more, and I'm sure there might be another call with Dr. Raja at some point, and I guess the conclusion of everything, you've said that it probably would be a great idea to do this, like long ago. What would you think about for the youth? Do you think it would be a great program for the youth?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I think, anything that can be proactive. I'm a big advocate around the brain.
Yes.
The brain, having had brain injuries, I'm very transparent about that because of my sport and how I lived unaware, of things. And whereas now I have the awareness because of, testing and being able to do that. And so now, this kind of testing is gold. It's like, it should be the standard for everybody.
Yeah, and then of course, the next step is going to be, we're incorporating the app, and it's going to go, information's going to be in the app, and you're going to be monitored in real time with your wearables, and you're going to have all this information come back to you. And so think about it as a current athlete or enthusiast, okay? Because you discovered something very important, and I don't think that you knew anything about it before, but it's not all just about elite athletes, high performance. We're blessed to have you participate in the program, but it's for anybody that wants to be healthy, that has athleticism in them, enthusiasts, weekend warriors, or whatever you may call it, right? So it's for everybody, right? But I think with you're probably going to learn more. You from what I know of you so far, you're going to study more, and there's going to be more questions. So we look forward to that, and then eventually getting into the app and the wearable, which is our next phase when we launch here soon, right?
Yeah, so. I tell you, bring it on. I want to try it all. I think this is the tip of my iceberg, probably.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah. Listen, we're gonna say a goodbye to the folks that are watching out there, and I guess, Christina, thank you so much for your story, your Olympic wisdom, and your biosport experience with us today. The journey is sort of just beginning, I guess, is what we're saying here. For anyone listening and wants to understand and learn more about our program, it's the Biosport, thebiosport.com, where we can train, we get personalized, and we can customize certain things, and this is about your DNA, my DNA, and this is the program, and I really appreciate you following through. And I guess one last thing, I think you're doing another test with us. You did a gut, is that a gut biome?
Yes.
Okay, and so that one, I'm going to tell you, is you're going to learn so much more about what else is going on, because now what happens is your vagus nerve is in your gut area, and it goes all the way to your brain, and that's what we call epigenetics. And so maybe next time when we meet, we'll talk a little bit more about that and what's happened there. Genomics is what you're born with. Epigenetics, it can create things. So
cool.
On behalf of the Biosport, thank you very much to everyone out there. Patrick Kirkwood, CEO, here with the amazing Christina Smith.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.